Beautiful YouTube peeps, what is good? Yours truly, Marv, back once again for another episode of Marv's Room. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. The new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Listen, I wanted to jump on here today to make this video to talk to you guys about understanding that LOA, law of attraction, law of assumption, manifestation, is always in action, and it always is working. A lot of times I get comments from people, whether I'm working with them one-on-one or whether they just ask me questions, and they say things like, Marv, it didn't work. LOA didn't work. Law of assumption didn't work. I did X, Y, and Z, and I didn't get my manifestation. Yo, check it. You guys got to understand something. The universe don't work on your time frame. I don't care how much you affirm. I don't care how much you live in the end. I don't care what you do in the 3D. The universe does not operate on your time frame. The universe does not operate on your time frame. Understand that. The universe operates on its time frame. The universe knows the path of least resistance, the best path of least resistance, to bring you whatever it is that you want at the right perfect time. Your conscious mind cannot comprehend when that will happen. It doesn't understand when it will happen. And it's not its job to understand when it will happen. It's up to the universe to allow that living in the end scene to happen at the right time. So when I hear people say things like, for instance, take a scenario like this. Say you have a birthday coming up this weekend or something, and you want your specific person to reach out to you and say happy birthday, or you want your specific person to go somewhere with you or spend the weekend or spend the day with you. And so leading up to this weekend, you've been affirming all week. You're at home, you're affirming, oh, me and my specific person are going to do something for my birthday. They're going to text me happy birthday. We're going to go out and do stuff. We're going to go out and see the town. We're going to go out to the movies. We're going to do what lovers do. Imagine you're at home all week affirming that, saying that, oh, my specific person is going to do all of this stuff. And then when the weekend comes, your specific person doesn't hit you up. How are you going to feel? How does that feel? You're going to feel disappointed. And this is when the comments come in like, oh, Marv, it doesn't work. No, the law always works. Just because it didn't happen when you wanted it to happen, just because it didn't happen at the right, exact, perfect time for your birthday weekend or whatever the event is around whatever your visualization or manifestation was, just because it didn't happen at that time doesn't mean it's not working. It does. I want you guys to understand, if you think that the law works that way, it doesn't work that way. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, when you do these types of affirmations and visualizations for an event that's coming up so fast, for an event that's literally right around the corner, like a birthday or like wanting to hang out this weekend or whatever the case may be, there's too much resistance around the issue. There's too much resistance around the issue, which is why you're saying affirmations and visualizations, because it's so important to you. You want it to happen so bad. You want to see your person this weekend. You want them to text you what you've been seeing in your mind and the affirmations you've been saying out loud. You want that so bad. You're actually pushing it away. The more you affirm, the more you visualize, and thinking that you can kind of trick and manipulate reality into getting what it is that you want this weekend. And this is just an example. I'm just using this weekend as an example. But this is what a lot of times people do. It'll literally be Wednesday, and then people will want this specific scene or whatever to happen with their specific person by Friday or by Saturday. And in reality, now listen, it can happen that fast. It can happen that way. There are times when stuff does happen that fast, but there are also a bunch of times where it doesn't happen that fast for a lot of people. And I want you to understand, if you're one of those people to where you affirm for something like that to happen and it doesn't happen, don't start to beat yourself up and think you're doing it wrong. Don't beat yourself up and think, oh, manifestation doesn't work. LOA doesn't work. I'm not listening to LOA anymore. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to Neville. I'm not listening to none of this stuff. Listen, it works for certain people in different ways. Just because it works for you that way and you didn't get what you wanted in a specific time frame and date doesn't mean you're never going to not get it. Okay? Like I told you guys before, the final score is what matters. Not the score in the middle of the game, not the score in the beginning of the game, not the score when the game is almost over. No, the final score is what matters. And so understand, if this is you, where you've done things and you've affirmed, you haven't got what you wanted, by a specific date, that's because you're putting too much pressure and emphasis on the date. Just because it doesn't happen on that date doesn't mean it's never going to happen. So the funny thing is, you could be waiting for a text message, or you could be hoping your specific person hits you up this weekend to do something, but they don't hit you up, and then you're all sad and you're like, oh, it doesn't work. And then you kind of get over it, and then you release resistance around the issue. And then guess what happens? The following week, you get the text message that you actually wanted the week before. Why? Because you gave up the resistance, you gave up the how, you gave up the worry, you gave up the anxiety, you gave up the depression, you gave up all of that, and you allowed the universe to just bring it to you, whatever it is that you wanted. So remember this the next time you guys try to visualize and force your affirmations and try to force an end scene to happen on your time frame. I want you guys to remember this and understand that it doesn't happen that way. The universe does not deliver stuff to you on your time frame a lot of times. And like I said, it can. For instance, like when you do EFT tapping to get a text message or something, I've had people tell me, oh, I did your EFT tapping videos in Marvin, and I got a text message right afterwards. Yeah, that's cool. But there are also going to be a lot of people that are going to do the EFT tapping and they get no text message right after they get done it. You know, they might get a text message a couple days later. They might get a text message a week later. Again, the how, the when, you don't know that. The universe knows that. Stop trying to play God. Let God be God. Okay? It's your job to co-create when it's your time to co-create. Like I've said multiple times in the past, let the universe move the chess pieces. And when it's time for you to move the chess piece, you will 100% know. All right? It's been another episode. Marv's Room. Hey, man, Marv. See you guys next time.